The research vessel Copernicus drifted silently at the edge of the Einstein-Rosen bridge, its quantum sensors probing the newly discovered phenomenon. Dr. Sarah Chen watched the holographic display with barely contained excitement as streams of data flowed through the ship's neural interface. The wormhole's discovery had been accidental, a fortunate malfunction in their long-range sensors that revealed what centuries of traditional astronomy had missed. Another anomalous reading, Doctor, announced Fray, the ship's AI companion. The bridge's quantum signature doesn't match our theoretical models. Sarah nodded, her neural implant already processing the raw data. Log it for detailed analysis. This could revolutionize our understanding of space-time topology. She paused, noting an unexpected fluctuation in the sensor feeds. Fray, are you seeing this? Before the AI could respond, space itself seemed to tear open 200,000 kilometers from their position. A massive vessel emerged, its hull gleaming with an iridescent material unlike anything in human engineering databases. The ship was easily 20 times the size of the Copernicus, its design suggesting both age and authority. Multiple additional signatures detected, Fray reported calmly. 17 vessels of varying configurations. Their drive signatures suggest faster-than-light capability, but the underlying technology appears to be based on conventional physics. Sarah straightened in her chair. First contact. Despite humanity's expansion across their solar system and the development of their quantum technology, they had never encountered another spacefaring species. Open all standard frequencies. Let's not make any aggressive moves. The alien fleet surrounded the Copernicus in a precise formation. Their movements spoke of centuries of practiced coordination, but to Sarah's trained eye, their technology seemed primitive despite its scale. They relied on brute force rather than elegant efficiency. A communication request flashed across her neural interface. Incoming transmission, Fray announced. Their encoding suggests a universal translation matrix. Shall I process it? Please do, Sarah replied, smoothing her research uniform. The main view screen shimmed to life, revealing a towering figure with crystalline features and multiple symmetrical eyes. Its body seemed to be composed of living crystal, with patterns of light pulsing beneath a translucent surface. Unidentified vessel. The being's translated voice resonated with artificial harmony. You have entered restricted space belonging to the crystalline hegemony. I am Archon, Supreme Commander of the 7th Fleet. Your presence here is a violation of galactic law. Sarah maintained her composure, though her mind raced with implications. Greetings, Archon. I am Dr. Sarah Chen of the Earth research vessel Copernicus. We were unaware this region was claimed territory. We're conducting scientific research on the Einstein-Rosen bridge. The Archon's crystalline features shifted in what might have been amusement. A research vessel. Your primitive spacecraft barely registers on our sensors. The hegemony has maintained order in this galaxy for 10,000 years. We do not recognize claims of ignorance from pre-FTL species who stumble beyond their limits. Sarah's neural implant flagged the contradiction. Their sensors were supposedly superior, yet they couldn't detect the Copernicus quantum systems. Archon, I assure you we mean no offense. We'll gladly withdraw if this is your territory. Withdraw. The Archon's voice carried artificial laughter. Your vessel and its crew will be detained for inspection. The hegemony must ensure you haven't stolen advanced technology from civilized species. Your clear inability to understand proper protocol demonstrates your need for guidance. Sarah's fingers tightened on her chair's armrests. The hegemony's ships were now charging weapons, primitive plasma-based systems that her sensors could easily analyze. They clearly expected immediate submission. Fray, she vocalized through her neural link. Status of our quantum shields. Fully operational, Doctor. Their weapons pose no significant threat. However, I should note that their behavior matches historical patterns of colonial exploitation. They appear to be proceeding under severe technological misconceptions. Sarah weighed her options. The Copernicus might be classified as a research vessel, But like all human ships, it carried defensive capabilities that would seem like magic to species who hadn't mastered quantum mechanics. Humanity had learned long ago not to separate their civilian and military technology. Everything they built incorporated their full understanding of physics. Arction. She tried one last time. I must decline. We've done nothing wrong, and we will not submit to detention. I suggest we discuss this diplomatically. The crystalline being's features hardened. Your primitive arrogance is noted. You leave us no choice. The hegemony will demonstrate why we have ruled this sector for millennia. As the alien fleet opened fire, their plasma weapons illuminating space with deadly beauty, Sarah allowed herself a small smile. Activate our defensive systems. Let's show them why humanity stopped thinking in terms of civilian and military technology a century ago. The plasma bolts splashed harmlessly against the Copernicus quantum shields, their energy absorbed and redistributed through higher dimensional space. The smaller vessel sat unharmed in the center of the hegemony's fleet, about to teach them a lesson about judging a civilization by the size of its ships. First contact was about to become first conflict, and the galaxy would never be the same. The hegemony fleet's second volley proved as ineffective as the first. Archenstrahl's crystalline features shifted through patterns of impossible colors as his flagship's sensors reported the impossible. Their most powerful weapons couldn't even register damage on the tiny human vessel. Inside the Copernicus, Dr. Chen watched the tactical display through her neural interface, while ARIA processed the attack patterns. Their weapon systems are remarkably inefficient, the AI observed. They're converting only 23% of their energy into useful output. The rest is lost to heat and radiation. Record everything, Sarah instructed. The scientific community will want to study their technology. It's fascinating. They achieve faster than light travel without understanding quantum mechanics. She opened a channel to the hegemony flagship. Archon, please cease fire. You're only wasting energy. The crystalline being's response crackled with barely contained rage. Impossible. Your shields cannot withstand our weapons. You must have stolen this technology. No pre-FTL species could develop such defenses. We didn't steal anything, Sarah replied calmly. Humanity simply took a different path. While you focused on making bigger ships and more powerful weapons, we learned to work with the fundamental fabric of reality. Multiple new contacts appeared on the tactical display as more hegemony vessels emerged from faster-than-light travel. The alien fleet now numbered over 50 ships, their massive forms dwarfing the Copernicus. Final warning, Vikstrahl announced. Surrender your vessel or be destroyed. The hegemony does not tolerate theft of advanced technology. Sarah sighed. ARIA, send a priority message to Earth Command. Include all our sensor data on their fleet. She turned her attention back to the Archon. We've tried to be diplomatic. What happens next is your responsibility. The hegemony fleet launched a coordinated strike, their weapons synchronized to overwhelm the human vessel's defenses. Space itself seemed to burn as thousands of plasma bolts converged on the Copernicus. Quantum shields holding at 99.97%. ARIA reported. Their attack pattern is predictable. Shall I demonstrate our actual capabilities? Sarah nodded. Nothing lethal. Just educational. The Copernicus quantum drive engaged. To the hegemony sensors, the small vessel simply vanished. Their targeting systems couldn't process the reality that the human ship now existed in multiple quantum states simultaneously, appearing to be in several locations at once. Fascinating, Sarah mused, watching through her neural interface as ARIA executed a series of maneuvers that should have been impossible. They don't even recognize quantum tunneling when they see it. The Copernicus reappeared inside the hegemony formation. Before the alien vessels could react, precisely calibrated quantum pulses disabled their primary power systems. 50 of the galaxy's most powerful warships hung powerless in space, their crews experiencing their first taste of human technology. By the eternal crystal, Vikstrahl's voice carried genuine fear now. "What are you?" "We're scientists," Sarah replied simply. "Researchers, explorers. We built this ship to study a wormhole, not to fight wars. But we learned long ago not to separate our knowledge into arbitrary categories like civilian and military." A new signal cut through the chaos. A transmission from Earth Command. Admiral Helena Martinez's holographic form appeared in the Copernicus Bridge. "Dr. Chen, we've received your data. The Defense Council is convening. Are you in need of immediate assistance?" Sarah glanced at the disabled hegemony fleet. "No immediate danger, Admiral. But I think we need to prepare for significant diplomatic challenges. The hegemony appears to have built their entire civilization on technological intimidation of other species." "Understood." The Admiral's expression hardened. "We're tracking multiple hegemony vessels approaching Earth's wormhole network. They seem to think size and numbers will overcome any defense." "A dangerous assumption," Sarah noted, watching as the hegemony crews struggled to restore power to their ships. "Their entire society is built on the idea that bigger is better. They never had to develop elegant solutions." "Hold position, Doctor," Admiral Martinez ordered. "Earth Command is deploying the Third Fleet to your location. Let's show the hegemony that humanity's achievements aren't stolen or accidental." As Sarah acknowledged the order, she studied the crystalline aliens through her ship's sensors. Their civilization had ruled through intimidation for 10,000 years, never facing a species that had developed beyond their understanding. Now they faced humanity, a younger race that had taken a completely different path to the stars. "Aria," she called. "Restore power to their life support and emergency systems, not their weapons." She opened a channel to Vixtrol. "Archon, I suggest you use this time to contact your leadership. Humanity would prefer peaceful contact, but we will not submit to threats." The galaxy's balance of power had shifted, not through conquest or warfare, but because humanity had dared to question fundamental assumptions about how the universe worked. As Sarah prepared for the arrival of Earth's fleet, she wondered how many other species had been forced to submit to the hegemony's brute force approach to space travel. That era, she suspected, was about to end. The arrival of Earth's Third Fleet proved nothing like the hegemony expected. Instead of massive warships to match their own, humanity's vessels emerged from quantum space as a constellation of smaller craft, each one gleaming with the same elegant efficiency as the Copernicus. Admiral Martinez's flagship, the Dawn Trader, took position alongside the research vessel. Though larger than the Copernicus, it was still dwarfed by the disabled hegemony ships. Sarah watched through her neural interface as the human fleet established a quantum defense grid, their ships linked through higher dimensional space. "Remarkable," Aria commented, analyzing the fleet's formation. "The Third Fleet's neural network has already adapted to the hegemony's technology. Their quantum shields are now optimized specifically against plasma-based weapons." A new transmission cut through space, not from the hegemony ships, but from their home territory. The beam that appeared on the view screen made Archon Vixtrol look small. Its crystalline form pulsed with deep colors that spoke of age and authority. "I am High Commander Rexlar of the Crystalline Hegemony," it announced. "Your interference with our forces has been noted. The full might of our civilization now approaches. You have one planetary rotation to surrender and submit to hegemony authority." Admiral Martinez stepped forward, her holographic form now visible to both fleets. "High Commander, I am Admiral Helena Martinez of Earth Command. We've analyzed your approaching forces. Sending more ships will not change the fundamental disparity in our technological approaches." "You dare?" Rexlar's crystalline form flashed with anger. "The hegemony's Grand Armada numbers 10,000 ships. We have conquered species across 12 sectors. Your handful of vessels cannot stand against us." Martinez's expression remained calm. "Numbers are irrelevant when you don't understand the underlying principles of your own technology. Dr. Chen, would you explain what we've learned about their faster-than-light drive?" Sarah nodded, bringing up the analysis. The hegemony achieved FTL travel through brute force, literally tearing holes in space through massive energy expenditure. They never discovered quantum tunneling or developed an understanding of higher dimensional physics. Their entire civilization is built on increasingly powerful applications of fundamentally flawed theories. Theories that have dominated this galaxy for 10,000 years. Rexlar thundered. Our Grand Armada approaches through real space, not your supposed dimensional tricks. You cannot stand against such power. Martinez shared a knowing look with Sarah. High Commander, we've been tracking your armada since it began moving. Would you like to know why we aren't concerned? Without waiting for a response, she gestured to the space between the fleets. A holographic display appeared, visible to all ships, showing the approaching hegemony forces. 10,000 ships, each one massive enough to dwarf Earth's vessels, arranged in an attack formation that had conquered countless civilizations. "Aria," Sarah called, "display the quantum analysis overlay." The hologram shifted, now showing energy patterns and efficiency ratings. The hegemony ships blazed with wasted power, their engines converting barely a fraction of their output into useful work. Besides them, the human vessels were models of elegant efficiency, their quantum drives producing no waste energy at all. Your civilization's greatest achievement, Martins explained, was discovering how to brute force your way past light speed. You never asked if there might be a better way. You never developed quantum mechanics or artificial intelligence. You simply built bigger ships with bigger engines, and conquered all who stood against us. Rexlar's voice carried both rage and fear now. Our weapons will overwhelm your defenses through sheer power. Sarah stepped forward. High Commander, your entire armada together cannot generate enough energy to penetrate our quantum shields. The laws of physics simply don't work the way you think they do. The universe is far more elegant than you imagined. As if to demonstrate her point, dozens of human ships simply vanished from normal space, reappearing instantly at different coordinates through quantum tunneling. The hegemony sensors couldn't even track their movement. We don't want war, Martins stated firmly. Humanity would prefer to share knowledge, to help your civilization understand the fundamental forces you've been brute forcing your way past. But we will not submit to threats or allow you to continue dominating other species through technological intimidation. The quantum analysis displayed an incoming wave of hegemony ships, their massive forms dropping out of FTL in a cascade of wasted energy. Sarah watched them through her neural interface, seeing not power but inefficiency, not strength but fundamental misunderstanding. Your move, High Commander, Martins said quietly. Continue your attack, and we'll be forced to demonstrate just how far behind your technology really is. Choose peace, and humanity will help your civilization advance beyond the need for conquest. The galaxy held its breath, waiting to see if 10,000 years of dominance through force could give way to understanding. The age of brute force was ending. The only question was whether the hegemony would accept this new reality or force humanity to prove it conclusively. The hegemony's Grand Armada made its choice in a storm of plasma fire that illuminated space like an artificial nova. 10,000 ships unleashed their full power against humanity's fleet, determined to prove that their brute force approach would triumph over what they saw as technological trickery. All vessels, initiate Quantum Defense Protocol Theta, Admiral Martinez ordered calmly. The human fleet's neural network responded instantly, their quantum shields linking into a single coherent defense system that existed partially outside normal spacetime. Dr. Chen watched through her neural interface as the hegemony's attack struck their shields. Area analysis. The combined energy output of their fleet is impressive, the AI responded, but fundamentally wasteful. They're losing 82% of their attack power to spatial distortion. Our quantum shields are actually growing stronger as they adapt to the attack pattern. The space between the fleets blazed with enough energy to vaporize a small moon. When it cleared, the human ships remained unchanged, their quantum shields barely registering the assault. High Commander Rexlar's voice carried genuine fear now. Impossible. Nothing can withstand such power. Power isn't everything, Martins replied. Dr. Chen, please demonstrate why humanity chose efficiency over brute force. Sarah nodded, interfacing directly with the Copernicus systems. ARIN, initiate quantum cascade sequence. Target their propulsion and weapon systems only. The human fleet vanished from normal spacetime, their quantum drives allowing them to exist in multiple states simultaneously. To the hegemony sensors, it appeared as if they were everywhere at once, their movements defying known physics. Precise quantum pulses rippled through the hegemony fleet. Massive engines died, weapon systems failed, and control systems went dark. Ship after ship fell silent, their crews watching in helpless awe as vessels they considered invincible were disabled by an enemy they couldn't even track. Minimal power remains to life support and artificial gravity, ARIA reported. No casualties. The entire hegemony fleet has been neutralized with 99.98% efficiency. The crystalline form of High Commander Rexlar flickered with chaotic colors. What? What are you? We're what happens when a species questions fundamental assumptions, Sarah explained. You saw faster than light travel as a problem of power. Just force your way through spacetime. We saw it as a problem of understanding. You built bigger engines. We learned how reality actually works. Admiral Martinez stepped forward. Your civilization has dominated this galaxy through technological intimidation for 10,000 years. How many species did you force into submission? How many potential quantum physicists never got to explore their theories because you convinced everyone that brute force was the only way? The hegemony maintains order. Rexlar protested, but his voice lacked conviction. You enforce stagnation, Martinez interrupted. Your own civilization stopped advancing because you never needed to understand the physics you were using. Now you face a species that took a different path, and your power means nothing. Through her neural interface, Sarah detected quantum fluctuations from dozens of nearby star systems. Admiral, we're picking up transmissions from multiple species in hegemony space. They're watching this encounter through their own sensor networks. Martinez nodded. High Commander, you have a choice. The hegemony can continue its policy of technological intimidation and face the consequences, or it can join humanity in learning how the universe actually works. We're willing to share our understanding of quantum mechanics to help your civilization advance beyond the need for conquest. Share. Our conquerors would share knowledge with us. Rexlar's voice carried genuine confusion. We're not conquerors, Sarah replied. We're scientists, explorers, learners. Humanity doesn't want to rule the galaxy. We want to understand it, and help others understand it too. The quantum sensors detected more fluctuations as other species listened in. 10,000 years of hegemony dominance had ended not with a devastating war, but with a demonstration of how little they actually understood about the universe they claimed to rule. The choice is yours, Martins said quietly. Continue fighting, and we'll be forced to demonstrate even more of the difference between power and understanding. Choose peace, and we'll help your entire civilization advance beyond its current limitations. The galaxy waited, watching as the hegemony faced a force it couldn't overwhelm through size or power. The age of brute force was ending, and a new era of understanding was about to begin. 3 months after the confrontation with the Grand Armada, Dr. Sarah Chen stood in the newly constructed Quantum Physics Conference Center on the hegemony's capital world. The crystalline architecture still reflected their love of scale and grandeur, but now it housed something new, an eagerness to learn. Through her neural interface, she watched as representatives from 20 different species filled the auditorium. Former subjects of the hegemony sat alongside their one-time rulers, all unified by a shared purpose, understanding the universe that humanity had shown them. Remarkable progress, ARIA commented through their private channel. The hegemony scientists have already grasped the basic principles of quantum mechanics. Their existing technology provides an excellent foundation, once properly understood. Sarah nodded, stepping up to the holographic podium. The assembled beings fell silent, their attention focused on the human who had helped change their civilization's fundamental assumptions. Today's lecture will cover quantum tunneling principles, she began. But first, I want to address something many of you have asked. Why didn't humanity simply conquer the hegemony? Why offer to teach instead? Former High Commander Rexlar, now the head of the hegemony's new Science Council, shifted his crystalline form in what Sarah had learned was thoughtful attention. The being who had once threatened to destroy humanity now sat in the front row, dedicated to understanding rather than dominating. Power without understanding is meaningless, Sarah continued. The hegemony achieved incredible things through determination and engineering skill. You built ships larger than cities and weapons that could shatter moons, but you never asked why it all worked. The holographic display came to life, showing the fundamental principles of quantum mechanics. Humanity chose a different path. When we discovered that the universe didn't work the way we thought, we didn't try to force our assumptions onto reality. We changed our assumptions. Admiral Martinez, attending via quantum projection, smiled from her seat near the podium. The Third Fleet now served as a teaching force, helping former hegemony worlds understand and implement quantum technology. Your civilization ruled through power, Sarah explained. We offer something better: understanding. Each species here today has unique insights, different ways of thinking that could advance our collective knowledge. The universe is too vast and wonderful for any one civilization to comprehend alone. The display shifted, showing the quantum neural network that now connected former hegemony worlds. Not as a tool of control, but as a means of sharing knowledge and resources. 3 months ago, we could have destroyed the Grand Armada, Sarah acknowledged. Instead, we chose to show you why your weapons didn't work. The difference between humanity and the hegemony isn't our technology. It's our desire to understand rather than dominate. Through her neural interface, Sarah detected quantum signatures from thousands of ships throughout local space. Where once the hegemony's massive vessels had patrolled through brute force, now ships of all sizes and designs explored through quantum space, each contributing to their shared understanding. Today's lecture is another step toward true galactic civilization, she continued. Not one ruled by force or fear, but united by curiosity and comprehension. The hegemony spent 10,000 years proving that bigger isn't always better. Let's spend the next 10,000 learning just how elegant the universe really is. Rexlar's crystalline form pulsed with colors that Sarah now recognized as excitement and hope. Dr. Chen, he asked, is it true that your research vessel, the one that changed everything, was never intended as a warship? Sarah smiled. The Copernicus was built to study a wormhole. Every system on board, from the quantum shields to the neural interface, was designed to help us understand the universe. The fact that this made us virtually invulnerable to conventional weapons was a side effect of understanding fundamental physics. The assembled beings murmured in appreciation. The species that had lived under hegemony rule were discovering that true power came not from the size of your ships or the strength of your weapons, but from understanding how reality actually worked. Now, Sarah said, bringing up complex quantum equations, let's talk about why space-time isn't what you think it is. As she began her lecture, Sarah reflected on how far they'd come. The hegemony had tried to conquer humanity through force, only to discover that their 10,000 years of dominance had been built on fundamental misconceptions about physics. Now those same beings sat eagerly in her classroom, proving that the desire to understand was stronger than the urge to dominate. The age of brute force had ended not with a war, but with a lesson. And as Sarah Chen looked out at the former rulers of the galaxy now turned students, she knew that humanity's greatest victory hadn't been defeating the hegemony's fleet. It had been showing them a better way to explore the stars. The universe, they were all learning, was far more elegant than anyone had imagined. And understanding it together was proving far more rewarding than trying to rule it alone.